I did not get exhausted when we first played.
I won, so...
Hello everybody, my name is Ilya.
And my name is Tyler. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
Specifically, Roll and Rights this month.
Rolling right.
So this is day 4 of our Roll and Write coverage. And today on our Check It Out series, which
is a series where we introduce various board games to you folks.
We have a Roll and Write called Lost Cities Roll and Write.
Wow, check it out, check it out, check it out!
Lost Cities is designed by Reiner Knizia and published by Thames and Kosmos. In this 2 to 5 player game, you'll be going on expeditions to attempt to score the most points and beat your opponents. Wow. Now let's give you a quick rundown of how to play.
Like always, you'll begin by setting up. Each player will get one piece of paper and they'll need a pen or pencil. You'll toss the dice in the center and choose who goes first.
Now the dice tray we're using is designed by Steve T Games and we'll link them down below for you to check out.
On your turn, you'll roll all 6 dice, and then you'll select a colored symbol die and a number die. The remaining 4 dice will remain in the center and they can be used by the inactive players. Now there are a few rules that you'll need to know when writing numbers in your columns. The color that you chose is the column that you have to write in. The number that you write has to go in ascending order from the bottom to the top of the column. You can also write the same number as the number below in the column. So it's greater than or equal to.
You can also skip numbers. You don't have to go 3, 4, 5. You can go 3, 4, 8, 9.
Now you'll notice that there's a circle under each of the columns. You can place a 0 there if it's ever rolled, and it will double your score for that column at the end of the game.
However, if you start placing numbers in those columns, you can cross off the 0 later on. So you always start it off or don't use it at all.
There are 2 bonuses on the sheet, artifacts or acceleration bonuses. Acceleration bonuses, or these arrows, will allow you to place a number on any of the columns that you choose. Artifact boxes will allow you to scratch off one of these artifacts. The more you get, the more points you'll receive at the end.
Now you'll notice these bonus 20 points near the center of each of the sheet. Those are races, so the first person to cross over will get the 20 points, while every other player will have to X that out.
Now say that there are dice that show up that you can't play or you just don't want to write down. You can simply cross off these dice on your sheet and then move on to the next turn.
Now you can do this multiple times in the game, but if you refuse dice more than 9 times, you won't be able to score any points for that row and become exhausted. You'll still be able to play, you just won't score any points for the refusal dice.
If at any point all players are exhausted, the game comes to an end.
Or if all the bridges collectively by all players have been crossed. And the bridges are the 20-point bonuses that you're all racing for.
Now for final scoring. You'll see that there are points on the left. Those will be used for your columns. And then you'll notice that there are points on the right. Those will be used for your artifacts and your dice. Let's take a look at the columns. You'll score each of the columns based on how high you got in that column. And don't forget, if you placed a 0, you get double the points, even if those points are negative. Now let's take a look at the artifacts and the dice spaces. You'll score points based on the right column, and you'll get up to 100 points with your artifacts, but if you're exhausted, you'll get 0 points for your dice spaces.
Now for the last space, little gray space here in the corner, you'll count all the bridges you have crossed. That's the 20 points bonuses. You'll add up all the points, and whoever has the most is victorious!
Woo! Will you be the most amazing adventurer out there?
So what do you think?
I really like this game. It's a lot of fun, it's very fast-paced in my opinion, and surprisingly, it's pretty hard to get exhausted, or it's pretty hard not to get exhausted.
I did not get exhausted when we first played.
I won, so...
Well, I'll give this game huge props for the accessibility because not only is there colors for the dice, there's also symbols. So the game is colorblind friendly and that's something I love seeing in games. The other thing I'll say too is I really like the refusing dice mechanic because initially if you refuse just a little bit, you'll score negative points. and if you refuse too much, you score 0. But if you refuse just the right amount, you can actually score a decent chunk of points.
Yeah.
And that can put you in the lead. But it is really tricky because near the end of the game, there's not a lot of spaces you can put. So it's pretty natural to refuse rolls later in the game because you're just kind of stuck.
Yeah, you
just
have
can't.
to. Yeah.
You have to refuse. So I really enjoyed that element of the game too.
Yeah, it's obviously and obviously because there's icons on the sheet, you've got like that little bit of play on like combinations. It's not super excessive. You can't like go on for on and on and on, but it is fun to get an arrow and accelerate that column, and then get another arrow and accelerate that column. So
yeah, I feel like they sneak up on you too because you may be secretly going for green and no one's noticed and someone's more close. Then you get a couple of arrows and you just speed through that green, get the bridge, and fool everybody else.
There's an extra 20 points for you.
I also haven't played the original Lost Cities, but now I want to because I am intrigued because of the different paths. And I've heard a lot of really good things, so now I'm very curious.
Yeah, I only assumed that there was a Lost Cities game because this one's called Lost Cities Roll and Write. So
You've seen it before.
I know, but for me it just didn't click.
Oh. So why should you check it out?
Well, it's a roll and write. So if you like roll and writes, be sure to check this one out because it's a lot of fun.
If you like roll and writes where you can compete a little bit and race to the finish, this one's definitely for you because there is that element of what is everybody else doing and how can I cross these paths before they do.
And my favorite thing about roll and writes in particular that do what Lost Cities roll and writes do is you as an inactive player still have an action to take. So you're never bored at the table or like paying attention to something that somebody else is doing because they have analysis by paralysis.
Yeah, you're always engaged in the table and you're always wanting them to take specific dice because you see the combination you want. So that part really draws me in as well.
Yep.
The other thing too is if you played the original Lost Cities and you really loved it, check this one out too. Maybe it's an addition to that collection and that flavor of what you love.
Well, why shouldn't people check this one out?
Well, as with any roll and write, there is a luck element to it. You could be going for that 6 triangle or green and never get it and be really, really sad about it.
That is true. Well, the other thing too is if you're looking for a more complex thematic integrated game, then Lost Cities Roll and Write probably isn't the game for you. It's just how roll and writes work, I guess.
Not all of them. I think some of them have really good thematic integration.
Yeah, that is true.
But I think this one you're going for points, you're trying to optimize the strategies. There's not a huge theme element to it. You're trying to be an adventurer, but mainly just in title.
Yeah. And I think that's more to just align with the original game.
So overall,
good game. I'll play this again and again. It's fast-paced. Like I said, it takes no time at all to play, and it's really easy to teach.
Yeah, for me, what really sticks out about this game is how interactive it is. I find with a lot of roll and writes, I'm very focused on my sheet and what I'm doing. But this one, I'm always looking up and seeing, how can I race and beat? And you also know when the game is going to end as well. So that's the part I really like too, is like, there's moments in one of the games where like we're all so close to crossing green, and as soon as green's crossed over, that's when the game ends. So how can I get out of my negatives? How can I prolong the game? How can I steal the green die away so it doesn't end for Tyler?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of really interesting choices you can make to prolong and try to create some cool strategies. So I really like this in this game, and it definitely stands out to me. So this month we're doing a giveaway. If you want more information, check out our original video or look at the description down below. But all you essentially have to do is be subscribed to us and answer our question of the day, which today is,
if you could have a game turn into a roll and write, which game would that be?
For me, the first game that came to mind, I don't know why, but I'm gonna go with the flow, is Oceans. That's why the flow is funny. I don't know what it is, but I think it'd be really cool to have like a water, more like evolution, food chain type. I think there could be some interesting elements in there. I haven't thought it all out, but hey, if you want to make an Oceans roll and write, I'd be first in line.
No star. I actually think I can't pick Paladins because Hadrian's Wall is
That's different enough.
It's different enough, but I think Paladins would. I'd have to pick a different game.
I would enjoy a roll and write of a West Kingdom trilogy. You start with Architects, and they're just all Bobby Hill. If you want to do that for all the West Kingdom series, I would say I'd also be first in line.
All games should have a roll and write version.
Wait, but do you have one? Do you have?
Do I have a game that I would make into a roll and write? Yeah, I think I'd be interested in seeing Wingspan as a roll and write, almost like a dice roll engine builder where like the dice you get kind of accelerate your hatching or something along those lines. Yeah, I obviously I'm not a game designer, but
maybe you roll to which action you would take.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, let us know down below because we'd love to hear what your thoughts and ideas are. But for now, that's our video.
Thanks so much for watching. If you really enjoyed what you like, hit that thumbs up, press that subscribe button, and even that bell notification to get notified when we release new videos. This month, we're doing a roll and write month, so thank you so much for sticking around. But until next time, this is us checking out.
Bye.
Bye.